Well, welcome everybody to the Aligned Agent Spotlight, where you get to meet one of the awesome Aligned agents. Today with me is my man, Anthony Setaro from Red Bank. Brother, what's going on, man? How are we?
I am very good. It's such a pleasure, Jeff, to be
Seriously.
hanging with you.
It's always happy, and I'm always happy and excited to talk to you. Today we could do it on camera, and everyone gets to meet your personality, see a little bit more, man. So, a little background, right? Like we've known each other for 6-7 years.
Yeah,
probably.
we've known each other for a while now.
Our paths crossed, and then we kind of both got busy with things, and they've recently come back together under this Align brand, which I mean, just super excited about, man. So give everyone a little background on yourself, your history through your Mr. Red Bank to me. Like that's how I think of you. You have awesome like DJ background, music, entertainment, real estate. Like you do a lot. So give us.
I do a lot. So I'm from the Monmouth County area, Tinton Falls, Red Bank. My family came from Italy to Red Bank in the 1880s. Right. So I have really deep roots and history there. I was a DJ, wedding DJ and corporate events for 20 years.
Nice.
And when Hurricane Sandy hit, that's where I met my wife doing charity work after Hurricane Sandy.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
And we were doing a bunch of charity work. We were trying to help people immediately get them things that they needed. Everyone's power was out. And then I worked with a company, Burners Without Borders, like Burning Man Project. Yeah. And we supported a program that demoed over 400 homes between Kingsburg, Union Beach. And I worked with FEMA and the local governments coordinating that stuff. And through that process, I really started to understand that a home, what it meant to people. And it was much more than just their house. It was like a person. Right. And seeing people and helping people get back into homes, it really ignited this fire in me to want to be involved in real estate.
I didn't know that about you. So that was really kind of like what was a driving factor saying, let me get into this real estate world. Like I had so much, enjoyment and passion for the Sandy stuff. That's what brought you a little bit closer to real estate?
Yeah, like I said, I was working at the DJ company at the time, and we basically shut everything down for 2 weeks, got involved in this. And through that process, really navigating it, seeing how difficult it was. And we filmed, I'm a filmmaker and producer as well, and we documented the entire experience. Wow. And the director, filmmaker that I worked with, Joe Manella, he filmed for 2 years straight. Wow. Just documenting that process and understanding. Some people were still, recently just getting back into homes, and we're still seeing the recovery in the area, and the regulations keep changing as lifting you're aware of, and lifting houses.
Insane, yeah.
Yeah. And where we're at, we're right on the shore. And so people, they want to be in our area, right. And you're not going to tell people that they're not going to live right by the ocean. They're going to figure out
a way to do it.
They're going to figure out a way. So I'm very passionate about that. And that also leads into the history, and what I'm passionate about as well with the history.
Sure. That's awesome, man. So something I really, really enjoy from being friends with you and following you on social media is like your depth of knowledge and engagement with your community. And I think that's probably something that, we just did a transaction where I referred some clients to you. They fell in love with you the first second they met you. They're like, we're buying in Red Bank. Like this guy's the guy who's going to help us do this. There's a problem with the CO. They mention your name. It gets done like that, right? Like they get the guy out to do it, right? There's something about that is like attractive and engaging with people, right? So talk to me a little bit about like the last 5-10 years, how you blended a lot of the community stuff that you're doing with helping serve real estate clients, and where the intersections happen there.
So one of my things is I do really want to connect and not just be about transactions, right? And not just transactional. We can sell and help people buy homes, but what's the everlasting value to the community, right. And making sure that, we're supportive of that. So I've been involved in the Red Bank Classic, which is a 5K that we put on in the town of Red Bank, and a part of that organization and that committee. And we use the proceeds from that to fund a swim program.
That's awesome.
So all 3rd grade students in Red Bank are given the opportunity through the YMCA. It's a partnership with the YMCA to have free swim lessons. We're on the water in Red Bank, right? So it's a river town. We're close to the ocean. Yeah. So it's really important. And I just try to find ways to link back to the community through some of my passions. And then when I'm meeting clients and I'm working with clients, it's I'm giving them something as well.
Right.
That there's all these things. It's not just for me,
Right.
it's for everybody. So we have over, 1,500 people come and race.
That's cool.
I don't get to run it anymore because I'm
'Cause you're
organizing.
running it.
Yeah.
You can't run it because you're
I
running
can't run it
it.
because I'm running it. Yeah, exactly.
That's cool, man. Well, I think that's like, and you tell me, but how many people that you work with real estate wise are coming into the area and learning about it for the first time? Like, I know a lot of our friends moved from Hoboken, Jersey City down to Monmouth County. And even us, like having friends and family down there, when we, could potentially look for that being a landing spot for us, we don't know about the area, the nuances, the little things. Like, so how many people are coming to you and you're like really educating them on the differences between Middletown and Red Bank and Rumson and Colts Neck? Like,
Absolutely. And that's something that I pride myself in as well. I'm 44 years old. I've always lived in Monmouth County in the general area, and I've lived all up and down. So I think there was 10 years where I lived in a different house or apartment,
Really?
every year
Yeah.
with roommates or by myself. So from Atlantic Highlands to Asbury Park, I know the area really well. So, and every area is different.
Yeah.
There's different spots to hang out. There's different, school systems. There's a lot of private schools in the area,
Yeah.
public schools, and everything is based around community
Yeah.
for me. So what type of lifestyle, when you're telling me you want to come down and live in Red Bank, well, this is what the lifestyle is in this pocket of Red Bank
Yeah.
versus this pocket. And this is what it's like in Fairhaven or Rumson or Colts Neck.
Yeah.
And every town does have a little nuance, a little different. And then just from relationships, from doing weddings for 20 years, I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of people that I can reach out to and pick their brains on something if I don't
Right.
know an area.
Being resourceful, right?
Absolutely.
Like having
You have to be-
resources, but also being resourceful about it, right? Like doing both of those things is really incredible. And like, this is something to transition a touch, right? You're with the Align team now for what, 4 months, 5
Yep.
months?
Yeah. Not even. I think it's only been three.
Three.
that I
Feels
came
like
back.
longer
But
than
I
it is,
feel
right?
like, coming to Align, I always say coming back, even though I wasn't on Align before,
Yep.
because my history, working with Brett and working with Dave DeVoe
Yep.
and working with yourself and
Yeah.
a lot of people on the team previously, and helping kind of figure out I call it the 1.0 or beta version of,
What we're doing
how
here.
of what this group could be
Yeah.
and how we can merge innovation and technology and AI and all that stuff to help our agents.
Right.
And so for me, it just is completely in line and aligned with all of the other brands and things that I work in. This is the group that I want to be with, and these
Right.
are the people I want to work with, and the systems and the tools. It's really innovative stuff that we're doing.
It's cool, right? Because I think when I think about you, I think about how I think about things, how Brett thinks about things, how Mark Staley was just in here, right? Doing one of these with Brett. We think about community, fun, relationships, but we're all entrepreneurial and like think about efficiency and effectiveness as well. So it's like marrying those two worlds together, which is what I really think that we strive to do every day within this organization, is how do we get hyper local, crazy about relationships, but then also have the systems, software, scale, support to service those relationships at like well higher of a level than you can by yourself or in a small group, right? So like that's where this dance becomes like really fun, where you were looking at your database and saying, well, now that I know about this and I know about that, my mind starts firing. And then all of a sudden we're talking about how do we integrate
I got
these sauces,
sauce.
right?
I got sauce, right?
So
this is my secret sauce. I'm super Italian. I'm 100% Italian.
Hey.
Yeah, hey, and so I was trying to think years ago, just something to give. It started with family, really. Had nothing to do with clients.
Right.
It had to do with family and wanting to give my family something
That's
at
cool.
Christmas. That was, my father makes stromboli, right? And he goes through this
I
whole
haven't had lunch yet. I'm
process.
starving.
It's phenomenal. He does this pepper salad in it, and
man.
it's phenomenal. He does a broccoli rabe one, and it's just it's so good. So I was trying to think of something, and I realized there's just sauce. Keep it super basic, super simple, and everyone's always buying sauce from the store. And
We're
I can't
spending
stand
all
that
day
stuff.
making
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like,
or all
those
day
are your
making
two
it.
options.
Right. So I don't know. I spent 1 year where I did this, and it's kind of become my little calling
love
card
it.
now. I make my sauce. I drop it off to people.
And I think it's a great proxy for this conversation, right? Of relationships, depth in a community, and then how to scale it.
Right.
Because you came here with these bottles, literally not for the podcast, but to talk about all of us that are in this office today. Like, hey, toss around some ideas of how I can get more efficient on this, effective, how I can deliver this to more people, having a party with us. I'm like, hey, I have a pie playbook that I think you could take and rip off and duplicate and use it there. And then we're like, well, Popeyes, but then also how are we going to scale and make it like, so being on an island by yourself, and you could have all the great ideas in the world, but 5 other people with all their great ideas now all of a sudden come together, and there's a power in this kind of like scale, right?
Jeff, the minds in this group are, as you know, some of the top minds in the industry. I was on a call the other day that Henry Eisenstein leads our commercial division, right? Henry's a monster in the commercial world.
Yep.
I've known Henry. He pops on the call and he's like, wow, this is full circle, because Henry and I started 7 years ago together.
Wow. That's wild.
At KW, going up to, meet with Dave and Sekou and those guys and training with them. And his mother owns a store right across the street from our office in Red Bank.
Crazy how it
right?
all comes
The
full
Red Bank
circle.
Artisan Collective. So it's a small world when you get on with this group, the Align team, the Fast Forward movement, everybody. It's just a massive network. So to talk to people in California, Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
And to hear what they're doing, and then people like Joe Oz, who are from our area, and then go out and do these crazy things. The network and the community that is involved in this group is just massive. And the knowledge, the network, the technology, the systems, it just gives so much to my clients and the community moving forward. Like the buyers that we're working with now together, moving down, from Hoboken, coming down from the city. The people that are moving into our area are not necessarily people that are in the area now.
Right.
So to have access to that network, and they're coming in now, sometimes internally, where we can bring value to sellers that maybe want to sell off market. Maybe they don't even want to put it out there, that we can have this database and this network to reach out to people.
There's so much value there to say the least, right? Like, and that conversation with the clients that you have now that were mine from Hoboken, they said, hey man, can you help us in Red Bank? Cause like they met someone else to show them something else in Long Branch, and they were like, oh, this experience sucked. And so I'm like, well, I can technically, but you don't want me to. I don't know Red Bank, but I do know the person that knows Red Bank like the back of his hand. He's me in Red Bank. Boom, done, good. They felt comfortable. I knew that you were going to have so let's say you're with a different brand. I still could do this, but I didn't know if you're going to have the support behind you through the transaction coordination,
That's what's
the marketing.
Great. It's the same support. If something did go haywire, you could pop in and check on it. We could all be in the same system.
Or I know the organization is just going to take care of everything from the back end, right? So like it creates this power of like systemization through scalability that provides the same level of service to more clients. And instead of you trying to figure out different softwares, different systems and things like that, someone else, like Omar just walked out. I'm like, dude, that's an Omar question. Omar's going to put you right in place. Now you're going to go meet more clients, do more things, rather than trying to figure that all out by yourself, which to me is
all one system. It's all one thing. It's works. A unified, I've been at other companies and they talk about their, tech stacks, and they talk about all this value that they have. And it's not that they don't, but it's all over the place.
Is it execution?
And you have this one and this one and this one and this one. And if you want to link it all together, figure it out.
Good luck.
Yeah, have fun. Figure it out.
Having it curated is like the thing, right? Like there could be so much of the internet is easy to accept to get access to, right? You just go Google whatever you want, but you're curating from scratch.
Right.
At a company that has no curation, you've got a bunch of options, but now you got to figure it out. Here, like the goal is to curate the heck out of it. So it's
absolutely.
Like, what do you want to do? Walk in, here's the playbook, right? Like, and just execute, which is something that really lights me up and gets me excited. Not because I want to get cold and sterile about it, but because I want to affect more impact.
You want to be efficient with your time. So if you can come in and know, hey, I just have to do X, Y, and Z from this time to this time, and then I can go out and keep building the community.
Exactly right.
I can keep networking and meeting people and actually helping.
Yeah.
And like perfect example was you know, my clients were moving, the ones in Red Bank,
Yep.
and we had to immediately go around and tell people the moving day time changed,
Yeah.
or here it is, and I want to go out and I want to tell all the neighbors. I can make a quick message to the marketing department. They whip up something for me very quickly. And then I'm out on the street knocking on people's doors, handing them the information that they need to tell them, here's a heads up. My clients are moving in tomorrow. We don't want to be a-holes here. We want to give you a heads up. And people were appreciative about that.
Yeah.
They were smiling. They were happy. They were very thankful to know. And I knew people on that walk.
Right.
I was knocking on people's doors, and they're like, oh, hey, Anthony.
Totally.
What's going on?
Otherwise, you would have went back to the office, tried to figure out how to make something, fumble around Canva for a while, and it never would have got out.
I would have been sitting on Canva, for an hour figuring it out.
The clients who are buying don't get the effectiveness of being good new neighbors. The new neighbors don't get the value of knowing what's going on. You didn't get the value of building your business, and nothing happens when you're by yourself on that. That's a cool thing, right? Like it's just so powerful and so exciting. It's
simplified, and there's a team. There's a group of really high level people.
Yeah.
And everything's got a department. There's departments. It's it's actually an organization.
It makes sense, right? Yeah. That's cool, man. Well, tell people how can we get the sauce from you?
All right. So right now, I will say we're online here. Whoever's watching this, I'll do a giveaway.
Ooh.
So if you have to tell me if you want sauce or gravy, because that's always the debate. I got the little people here arguing. It's gravy. It's sauce.
I grew up in a sauce house, and my mom's name was Esposito, so I do have the Italian side, right?
Yeah.
It was always sauce. Gravy was like a thing I didn't learn until my 20s that people called it. That's
how
so
my grandmother calls it. Yeah, my grandmother called it gravy. It was always gravy growing up. That's the big divide: is are you sauce or you gravy? I don't know that it really makes a difference, but if you want to DM or comment under whatever I put up that has this sauce or gravy, and we'll work on getting you some sauce or gravy.
That's great. No, I have to follow this up with the question though.
Yeah.
If that's gravy, what do you put on turkey at Thanksgiving?
That's gravy as well.
All right.
There's different kinds of gravy.
So we're clear.
Brown gravy. That's brown gravy.
Red gravy and brown gravy. All right.
This is just gravy. It's not red gravy. It's just gravy. Brown gravy is brown gravy.
Understood. That's always my question when people call it gravy. They've got to put them on.
Yeah, that's how I determine it.
I love it, man. Well, anything else you wanted to talk about today? Anything else you wanted to hit on?
I think that's it. I'm really big, like I said, into the community, into, the history of my family. I study the bootlegging prohibition in the area. So that's, usually where a lot of people.
You cover a lot of this on your social media.
I do.
Right?
So Setaro House is the brand that we do everything under.
It's really cool stuff.
And it's all about the prohibition, the bootlegging in the area, connections to Vito Genovese, the mob. Cool. If you are interested in any of that stuff, definitely, follow along, because I'm always hitting people with the history and the unknown facts about the area.
I love it, man. That's awesome, brother. Well, thank you guys all for watching. Hope you enjoyed getting to know Anthony a little bit better. I know I sure as hell have. And I'll see you on the next one, brother.
It's a pleasure. As always, we'll see you guys soon.
Later.